Hi guys, Tyler here with Explorer Scientific. Today we're going to talk about the National Geographic RT7400 and what you can expect and how to use it and set it up. I've already got it unboxed, so I'm just going to put the box over off here to the side. It does come with a manual. Please make sure you read over the manual to better understand the product. Put that off to the side. Now it does come with a handy dandy carrying case. I've already got it unzipped. It's got a nice little shoulder wrap so you can just tote it around, go hiking, do whatever. So, what do we got? Well, we have the OTA, or telescope, the optical tube assembly. We're just gonna point that up just right there for right now. We also have the tripod. So with this tripod, it's a pan tilt tripod. Has a little 1/4-20 adapter that hooks or grabs right here on the bottom end of the telescope. We're gonna assemble this here in a minute. We also got, in this little lovely pouch, a red dot viewfinder. Now what is a red dot viewfinder, you may ask? Well, a red dot is something that helps you find celestial objects at night. But the best part about this is you need to align this particular red dot during the day. How you would do that is you would point the telescope at an inanimate object, stop sign, tree, light pole, or a car. Once you got the telescope lined up, then you would line up the red dot to what you're seeing here, and we'll again show you how to assemble everything here in a second. We have a red dot, a diagonal. A diagonal is what will be placed in the back of the tube right here to help you put an eyepiece in so you can see what you're looking at the day or the night. And also, not one, but two wonderful eyepieces. We're gonna go over those here in a second. First, we're gonna just do the tripod. Now this tripod does extend quite a bit, and there's little clasps that are here, and there's 3 tiers to it. All 3 legs extend all the way down. So you'll have to mess with those to see what's best suited for you, because we're all not all the same height. So to attach the telescope to the tripod, as you can tell, there is a little 1/4-20 screw right here. Now with this 1/4-20 screw, there is also a 1/4-20 slot, and there's a knob sitting right underneath here that I'm going to attach to the base of the actual telescope. So I'm going to put the telescope right on it. There it is, and then I'm just going to turn. And this is it. This is literally all you got to do. So now I have a nice locked in telescope on its tripod. So now I'm going to rearrange the table, and we're going to turn the telescope, because that's what this wonderful panhandle's for. We also have an adjustment for tension, or I call the azimuth, the left and the right. Now you can tighten it or make it loose, whatever, depending on what you want to do. Now how do you go up and down? The alt, or the altitude, is you loosen the panhandle and you just up and down. This mount is very easy to use. It's great for beginners. So now I'm going to take my diagonal here. I'm going to kind of angle it to where you can see it as well. And I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to turn this one. I'm going to tighten back, pan, tighten that. So we see we have a dust cover. And what's the dust cover for? Well, it keeps dust from getting inside here, because this is where our lens cell is. And after time, dust can accumulate. It's perfectly fine, but we don't want a whole bunch of dust to get in there, or water, or any kind of accidents that happen to go inside. So what we'll do is we'll loosen a little thumb screw here. So now I want to put my diagonal into the opening of the OTA. And you notice that there is a slight little thumb screw. Now that thumb screw is going to help us secure the diagonal. I'm going to slide it right in there. I'm going to tighten my thumb screw. So on this diagonal, how do you differentiate which side goes into the actual OTA, or optical tube assembly, is that you notice that the diameters are different here and here. The bigger diameter can't go in the OTA, so you'll need to use the smaller diameter on the diagonal to go right on in. And then we'll just tighten it up real quick with the thumb screw. Now, I'm going to take my red dot viewfinder, and I'm going to adjust telescope again so you can get a better look at it. Now with this red dot viewfinder, it's got a flat plate. Now what that means is I can just take it and just slide it, and if I can, there it is, and click, it's in. Now on the red dot, there is a little pull tab. that you have to make sure that you pull to make it operational. It just keeps the battery from making contact, so that way when it gets to you, it's not completely dead and you have to change out the battery. So make sure to pull out that little pull tab out here on the front. So now we have our red dot finder, we have our diagonal in, and we have our telescope all ready to go. So now, back to eyepieces. So we have one, and, come on, there we go. That one takes a little bit to get out. And a 2. So we have a 20 millimeter and a 10 millimeter eyepiece. So now I want to do some visual. So I would loosen the thumb screw on the diagonal, pull the dust cap, come on, and then I would just simply insert, turn the thumb screw. Now I always start with the bigger eyepiece. Now what do I mean by bigger eyepiece is there are numbers on each individual eyepieces. You always want to start with a greater number or the biggest number so you can get a nice wide field of what you're looking at. You don't want to start with the smallest one, because think of it like tunnel vision. You're going to be real close to whatever you're looking at. So the bigger the number that you start with first, you're going to get a nice wide field of view. It's easier to get everything into focus, and then you can swap it out for the more finer things that you want to look at, say at a celestial object, the moon, Andromeda's galaxy, the Eagle Nebula, all of that wonderful stuff. So now, how do I get it in focus? There's 2 knobs on either side of the telescope. They both do the same thing. And all you literally do is just rock it back and forth. And I can even go on this side and do the same thing. It's very, very simple on getting objects in focus. So what you would do is just draw and turn it, and you're looking into the eyepiece at whatever object you're wanting to look at, and you're just going to turn it until it comes into focus. Now when you know you got it in focus, this is when it's a perfect opportunity to align your red dot to what you are looking at through the eyepiece. Now say you want to go in a little closer, and then you would put in the 10, and sometimes you may have to go out a little further or go back in. It just depends on what you're looking at. So we got our telescope all assembled, we got our eyepiece in, and we're looking at a distant object. But now I want to align my red dot. Well, there are 2 little thumb screws on this red dot that you can use. I'm just going to adjust it so you can see it. So you'll want to adjust this thumb screw here and this thumb screw back here. This thumb screw back here does the up and the down, and the thumb screw over here on your guys' side does the left and the right. Now I would align this red dot with whatever I'm pointing at with the OTA. Do this during the day, it would make your life so much easier, because if you try to do this at night, you're going to go insane. Those are what you need to focus on when you're trying to get the red dot in line with the main OTA, the optical tube assembly. So again, point the telescope at a distant object. It doesn't have to be far, quarter mile, a couple hundred yards, maybe a half a block. Doesn't matter. Just bring it into focus with the main OTA, optical tube assembly. And then you want to line up the red dot with what you're pointing at. It can become a little fickle, but you don't have to get dead on. Just get it in the same vicinity. If I'm looking at a stop sign and I see the whole stop sign here, all I got to do is just point this at the stop sign and I'm done. It's best that you don't remove the red dot viewfinder from the main OTA, because it may come out of alignment and then you'll have to start the process all over again. So I hope this helps you guys understand the National Geographic RT 7400. My name is Tyler, and I hope you have clear skies and keep looking up.